In a 3, 2, 1. Hello. I'm just doing my little recording because lately there's something pretty interesting that I just watched yesterday, and regarding about this next gen sort of stuff. I don't know. I actually never done something like this to share. But I just thought I would like to share my thoughts about this upcoming updates here. You know, next generation is pretty much here already. It's already here. The only thing is that the ballot has just started. The Wii U has just been released since like November. Yeah. Well, don't know about you, but maybe the Wii was just doing pretty fine for a bit. However, it's a slow start for the console here. But, Nintendo didn't really have much of a competition right now because, sure, the 360 and the PlayStation 3 are still around at the moment. And, speaking of which, I actually want to share you guys with something, that since yesterday, I actually watched a video, more like live stream, and it's actually pretty awesome. You know what that is? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, of course. PlayStation 4. Surprisingly, it's not called Orbis or whatever else, but simply PlayStation 4. 4. 4 is more. I don't know, I'm just blabbering randomly. But this one actually kind of excites me. Because, I don't know. I'm at loss of words right now, but I mean, for a simple 2-hour teaser to show the world of this upcoming console, well, I mean, there's some interesting info which, kind of sounds pretty cool, and this is just a beginning of what to expect for this next generation console, and that's it's pretty interesting stuff. One thing I like about it is that before I go on into the more detailed depth, there has been lots of rumors about this upcoming console for a while now. People aren't too sure how powerful it's going to be, but most people wanted to make it, more powerful for the console. They expected PlayStation 4, the next gen console, to be, much more powerful. In fact, well, a lot of people are pretty concerned of whether if it will be just as powerful, more powerful than the current the PCs. Now, the PC market right now, it's pretty big, but what's even bigger is mobility. In the mobility department, it's even bigger. Like, you can't help it that lots of great games here and there, everywhere. It's, very easy to make, lots of money. But now, this is a problem for home consoles there because people felt that the home gaming is slowly dying because of this whole new threat. Now, I can understand that PC has been around for just as long, and naturally PCs get better and worse over time. Actually, what I'm trying to say is that PCs generally are more powerful. They're and they always get more powerful, but the console is there for anyone who wishes to pick up and play. Get it all set up. Nothing too fancy. And now mobility or the mobile department, like the iPad, iPhone, Android. I don't know. There's so many to the list. So many, in fact, it exploded. It exploded. And that's pretty much where the current situation is at right now. The third generation consoles are, they are doing okay, but people felt that they weren't doing any better than, say, before. Now I think that they're pretty much wrong about that. The reason why they think that this current generation consoles, the Wii 360 and the PlayStation 3, don't seem to sell too well is because they expected higher numbers. In total, though, and if you were to actually add it up, um, let's see. I know that the Xbox has sold over 76 million as of now. PlayStation 3 about 77 or 76. Did I get the numbers mixed up? Let's just say around in the 70 million, almost 80. With the Wii, almost over 90 million. So if you add those numbers up, that's like over 250 million. Compared to the last generation on its own, they sold around 200 million. I think that's there's like a 50 million plus of this one, but that's generally because the consoles are being supported just a little longer. Since the 360 was released a year before PlayStation 3 and the Wii, it kind of got a head start. So, it's already been almost 8 years since the 360's introduction. So 8 years is actually a pretty long time. Naturally, a new console is usually, made for every 5 or 6 years. That's usually natural. But now things are going to be a little bit different because it's a bit longer. Now, the Wii U has been launched 6 years after the Wii. This is not a bad move for Nintendo, since they could use a technological leap, well, at least to play a game a little catch up until the real next gen competitors comes into play. The Wii U didn't sell a lot, unlike its original Wii, which is about hundreds of thousands more. But I'm pretty sure that it'll catch up. But without trying to drone on, I'm just trying to start a little topic here. What I want to discuss about is pretty much the PlayStation 4. Now, PlayStation 4 is something else I'd like to cover about in my topic here. PlayStation 4 has been officially announced as far as the name goes, and we also get some interesting little teasers to show. So if you haven't seen it, you should go on the internet, look for it. In fact, you should see the original the trailers and games. For 2 hours, it's actually pretty long, but 2 hours, I have to say, it felt worth it. But there could have been a little more. We don't know what it looks like. Yeah, we can only see the trailers, and for the first half hour, they're giving us a little education on the inner specs. Now, the inner specs is what actually intrigued me there. So that's the first thing I like to discuss about. The specifications for the console feels pretty alright. Actually, it's just what we needed. It's powerful enough. It's powerful enough for developers to make, as well as for us. We like powerful consoles, right? Well, look at that. You know, PlayStation delivers that again. Well, without trying to sound a little fancy in terms of technical specs, it will have an 8-core processor. Then it'll, is made by Advanced Micro the devices. Yeah, Advanced Micro devices, and it's gonna be a remodeled bulldozer cores, or I think it was Bobcat, but anyways, they're just a Jaguar. It will contain 8 cores, but in 2 clusters. So it's like 4 multiplied by 2 cores. But anyways, even though that some may say it's not really much of a leap, but because on the PlayStation 3, it actually contains that same number of cores. But the only difference is that it's a much more complex architecture to develop on. So Sony realized this error of their ways, that custom complicated chips is not going to sell, and made it difficult for developers to work. So that's why they decided to apply it, to make it easier for developers by using a similar PC technology, but redesign it in a way so that the PlayStation 3 can take advantage of it. Also, there's going to be a modified 7850 graphics card, which is actually a little better than what I have on my PC at the moment. It's a little more powerful, but not too powerful. I'm not gonna say it's powerful enough for me, and I think most of us. I think we couldn't agree more. But it's modified, so developers can take advantage of its capabilities, and naturally, I think they're going to try to make it better over time. Now, memory. Now, lots of people don't really think that memory isn't too important, but I really think it actually helps make games look more realistic, more lively, and I don't know. You could do more. Memory, it's, well, maybe not a big deal for PC gamers, but because, actually it is, but maybe just not right now. But why am I discussing about it? Because Sony's next PlayStation will come with 8 GB. Now, how much is 8 GB, and what can you do with 8 GB? A lot of things, a lot of things, and I think that's a really good idea, considering that most of PC gaming didn't really make it. Well, I mean, it can't go anywhere as high as 6 as far as game development goes. And what I have is a 12 GB model, which is a little obsessive, but the best I think I like to use it for is like if I were to edit projects or stuff like that. I'm a multitasker. I like to do a lot of multitasking. I don't know why I put this in wrong. But 8 GB, what good is it for? Same thing, actually. It'll greatly benefit for video games, since it helps, render details like this, your background, making it more lively. If you have seen the trailers, you will be shocked. Well, maybe. I mean, I'm a PC gamer. I know what graphics, what I expect for the next generation console, but it's so amazing sometimes. I mean, to the point that it's almost amazing. It's amazing. But what can you do with 8 GB? Well, a lot of things. Like, again, there's plenty that you can you could do chat. You could voice chat as you play and share videos. And I might get into that a little more later on. I guess I kind of said it a little too much. You better do some little research for yourself. But I'm just trying to summarize what I've learned so far with the console. Now, I pretty much said about the PlayStation 4 specs. Now I'm going to get into a little more interesting details. Well, the controller. They actually showed the controller at the show, but we're not too sure if it's a final version of the controller, what to expect, but it's actually a much different controller. Not really. It's not, Now, I don't have a picture of it yet, but if you've seen a controller, you know what I'm talking about. For those who haven't, well, take this here controller that we all know and love. This DualShock 3, you know, trigger buttons here, analog, all that. The controller that we all know and love, well, for the current PlayStation 3. Though, you know, it's actually pretty lightweight, and to be honest, it's not so bad. This, you know, pretty good for the hands. You know, is that, including the home button. Now, the 360 controller. This is actually pretty comfortable too. And some of its highlights include that, you know, I mean, wow, very economical. Gives you good grip. I love the layout. Buttons are pressable. Yeah. Trigger buttons too. So why am I holding both of them? Well, just imagine if, just imagine. Oh, interesting to note. 360 has this here audio thing right here, which interesting thing to know that for the Sony's next console, they're going to combine into well, a similar controller like this, but with some of the features of the 360, including under here this. And on top of that, Sony also have that makes use of the, you know, PlayStation Move sensor bars somewhere around here, even though I don't own it. And for start selects, button will be replaced with a screen, sort of like that. Oh yeah, my PlayStation Vita. Very interesting to know that the screen, the touch pads, is similar to the back end of a PS Vita. You know, start and select, both different areas. And it sounds a little crazy, especially how they redesigned the analogs. It's not like this here similar, like, you know, these here. It'll be more like just imagine the, you know, the usual, but with the outer end of this. You should see the images to get a better picture, but we're not too sure. It's still a work in progress controller. Oh, and as an added bonus, it comes with the sound out, just like the Wii remote. I didn't have it with me at the moment, but yeah, the sound will be coming out of his new DualShock controller. Now, that's something I'd like to discuss about. And what do I think about the controller? Well, I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about it because it might not be the final product of what to expect for this next PlayStation console. But it doesn't seem to look too bad. But I think for this one, it seems like they got a little too carried away with all, like, you know, trying to make it look as gimmicky as possible. But honestly, thinking about it, I like the simplistic nature of this current design, but I might get used to it. Also, I haven't mentioned that this new system is also gonna the controller is going to include 2 additional buttons for, you know, for social stuff. I will get into that as well. Like, you know, one side will allow you to actually record actually so I think you record your moment while you're in the middle of a game, you edit it out, and you post it to the world. Let's say you got a good headshot, and it was like an awesome headshot in the middle of a game. And it's like, oh yeah, I want to show that to my friends. So you just hit the button, and you can actually trim out the part you don't want, modify a little, post it online, and people are going to see it. It's like posting on the YouTube. You don't need a certain machine to help to record that. The console itself supposedly records it for you as you game on. Let's see, you got the best combo chain as well. You know what? Press that button while you're in the middle of a game. There you go. Now there's another button that, it transmits some sort of broadcasting to what you're what you're doing right now. Again, I kind of don't know much about it. Like, we just don't know what's really going on, especially myself. I do hear that that what Sony is trying to achieve here is a more social experience. So now, by broadcasting what you're doing, and like especially if you're in the middle of a game, the people might help you out, or spectate you. Spectating others is like pretty fun to do. So I think that's actually pretty much of a nice step up for the controller. Now, speaking of the controllers, remember the PS Vita? Again, I will be glad to show you of this one. Well, PlayStation, there are plans that there's going to be, pretty interesting things you can do with the PlayStation 4. Well, obviously, for one thing, now the console is really interesting. I don't know where to begin. Well, I'm very thankful that I got the PS Vita for a reason, but you know what? You don't really have to. I don't really think. It's not highly necessary, but there are some similar features that you can pretty much do the same, just like on the PlayStation 3. You can actually, like some PlayStation 4 games, you can move them into the portable device, especially the PS Vita. So if you're in the middle of the game, you want to continue on without having to wait for days until you make it back to your home console. What you do is just do that and continue where you left off. Best example, Metal Gear Solid High Definition Collection. Kind of like that. I mean, if you already own the exact same game, you could just like that. But interesting to note that you don't really need to own both games, both mobile and the console. You only just need to own one, and you make it into a portable video game so you can resume where you are. Fascinating stuff, I have to admit. And there's going to be some more interactivity, and much like you can even play some PlayStation 4 games on this here screen. PS Vita, I'm sorry. Remember the Wii U with their controllers, so that if you want to continue gaming, like say if somebody wants to watch something on television, but you want to play a video game, well, you and your buddy can both be winners by simply using your tablet thing, and you continue to game on. Same thing for the PS4 and the Vita. Awesome stuff. The Vita should be powerful enough for most games, and some of them are actually being made to take advantage of this technology. And if you prefer, you can also play games using the Vita as the controller. I mean, man, Sony's really upping their game with this one. And, this is one of the good reasons I think that, it's good to own the Vita, but it's not that necessary. It's not necessary. They're not forcing you to buy it, but, I mean, what you do pretty much is just some things. The PlayStation 4 console, however, on its own is pretty much just what you need. So, yeah, that's something I like to see. So, as far as my knowledge, um, what does it look like? Exactly. It hasn't been shown any with it, in the 2 hours. So we don't know what it looks like. So we'll just have to wait till E3 to figure it out. But it's alongside that, there we do have a nice rough schedule for the release date near the end of 2013. But we're not too sure when exactly, to be precise. But since we're about 9 to 10 months away from now, there's lots of time for you guys to save up some cash if you're planning to go with PlayStation, if you're planning to buy the PlayStation 4. So, yeah. So, I mean, if you want to, you might as well just wait. I think it's better to just learn about it. Other little things I hear about is that Sony that dispels these rumors that used games cannot be played on another system, on another system, which is, I think that's a good thing to hear. So they're not going to, I think that's good news. That's great news. Great news. Used games are still alive and will continue. But I don't know. But there may be a small catch yet. I don't know if it's even dispelled or not, but that's according to what some sources say. I don't have a lot to. I don't know. Don't trust me because I don't know. I just recently heard about it. And as for compatibility, obviously is not the PlayStation 4 is not going to be compatible. No. Not compatible for the previous gens. Not even the PlayStation 1 and 2. So that's 1, 2, and 3 being incompatible because obviously there's a whole new architecture altogether. So PlayStation 4 is more of a PC gaming console. But they do have plans to stream them into your console in the future. I don't know what that means. I don't know that you would download them into your new console on the go or something like that. But obviously, physical support is not gonna work. If you already own games on the for the current PlayStation 3 and the Vita, it's not gonna work either. You had to get the games on the PlayStation 4. But aside from those minor little things, it's actually not a bad console. I would like to learn more about it, especially the price. I do expect it's going to be a little pricey, but Sony is trying to make sure it's not going to happen again on like the PlayStation 3. Remember how much it costs for, the early 20 and the 60 gigabyte, 80, I don't know which came out first, but they were like over $500 and six, really high. I hate to see that again, but, in months ahead, I feel like I'll be prepared for the next generation gaming on the PlayStation 4. And I guess it'll be the next generation console that I'll own. But before I even consider jumping into that, I want to know what Microsoft has in store for their next Xbox. So I'm still digging into research about these new things as we speak. So I just thought I want to share you my thoughts about it. And as for the games, well, I cannot. Pardon me, it's my brother. And yeah, anyway, I guess that's pretty much all I have to say about this announcements for now. It's not bad, but I like to know more about it. Maybe on E3. So that's something I can't. I'm looking forward to. So well, thanks for watching, guys. If you have anything to say about it, don't be shy. Let me know. Please tell me. I would like to hear what you guys think. And well, please be fair. It's just recent. It's just a recent launch.